Hey babes, I'm Cynthia.
And I'm Beverly. Grab your favorite drink. Let's sip and chat.
Welcome to Tipsy and Truthful, the podcast.
Period. Hey babes, welcome back to another episode of Tipsy and Truthful, the podcast where two best friends sip and chat about life, relationships, I can't stand her, parenthood, and everything in between.
Let me fix this again. It was just bothering me because it was slanted. Anyways.
Of course. Well,
Sorry.
I'm Beverly, and this is OCD Cynthia.
Hey guys.
And hi, we're back on camera.
I know, I feel so weird.
Right?
I feel so weird.
I threw on lashes, guys. I did my makeup. Esto no te lo dije, ¿no?
Period. We
Who
don't
has-
look like a mess.
Who has that energy for all of this?
Yeah, no.
It took me an hour and 20 minutes. I timed it.
Damn.
As you can see, we're not in our regular studio that you saw us. The last time was episode 20.
Mm-hmm.
I checked.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in our studio. We don't have any of the stuff. We ripped down the wallpaper. We don't have the table. We don't have the chairs. The Tipsy and Truthful sign is still hanging on by dear life.
By a thread.
By a thread. But we are at my sister Shirley's house and her boyfriend Pat.
We took over.
We took over because I love how she decorates it.
Yeah.
Look at her setup. This is her everyday
Just
schmegular. I can't have decorations like this. Are you kidding me? My boys will have a field day.
Yeah.
But we're here
We're here because
because
guess what, guys? Happy birthday. It's Tipsy and Truthful 1 year anniversary.
it's our first birthday. Okay,
It's our first birthday. We are 1 year old. Can
I
you
know.
believe it? Exactly one. We're recording this 2 days before our actual anniversary.
Yeah.
So we're pushing the date. We'll release it, a day later,
yeah.
so that it's actually on our anniversary.
Mhm.
And so we just didn't feel right doing a regular episode.
We had to make it special.
We had to make it special for you guys and for us. I mean, maybe you don't care, but for us, it was significant because the statistics show that a lot of podcasts don't make it till their 7th episode.
Period.
And we're here a year later.
And what episode is this? 48.
Yes.
48.
And the reason why it's exactly our 1 year, even though there's like 1 or 2 episodes that were missing. Well, a couple episodes that were missing because obviously we had some tech
We
issues.
had some breaks. Yeah.
We took a break.
Okay, so we usually record at Jessica's house, and she has
Crap out of
Teddy.
meetings.
No, Teddy.
Oh, I thought you meant.
If you guys hear some jingling or some dog noises, we have Blue here, my sister Shirley's dog. She's the cutest, but if you hear the noises, it's not, or if somebody farts, it's not me. Okay, don't blame it on me.
Or
It's the
me.
dog. You hear the jingling of
I know the jingling.
of her necklace? This dog is blinged out, guys. Blinged out.
We'll put her at the end so you
Yeah.
guys can see her. She's
We
adorable.
gotta bring her in at the end. Oh, I thought she was gonna come sit next to me right now.
But yeah, so we wanted to make sure that we had this episode, on video. It's very special. We're very proud of ourselves because it has been a very difficult year.
Yes.
Very fulfilling, but difficult and tiring. And it takes a commitment that we knew it was going to be tough, but to actually go through it and live it is completely different. So
Yep.
we're just proud that we said, that we did what we said we were going to do.
And we
basically.
didn't quit. Yeah. So a few things. We want to go and go do a quick rundown of our past episodes.
A recap.
A recap.
Mhm.
We also want to give a big announcement at the end. So stick around,
Mhm.
please.
Mhm.
2 big announcements, really. You
What?
confused? Mission accomplished.
Okay.
That means I got to do it.
I'm like, what?
Babe, first of all, how was your week?
My week, it was Thanksgiving. So it was a really, kind of hectic week. Because, everybody running around the stores, it just feels chaotic. Even if you're not chaotic, it just feels like you have to match everybody else's energy and everybody else is running around. So you're just like, oh, I don't know what to do. I had dinner with my family and then we went to Beverly's house and we all chilled and we just had a good night.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked and,
It was really chill, and I loved it because there was a party in my kitchen, and then all the old ladies were in the living room just sitting down talking.
Yeah, for real.
Including us. I'm like, as you can see, you can't really tell in this. I'm super pregnant right now.
I'm not,
No, you're not.
but I'm fat.
I hate her. So yeah, I was perfectly okay with being in the old lady gang.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we're going to talk about it a little bit now.
We'll talk about it at the end a little bit. We're like in different places.
Yeah. So anyways.
Last Thanksgiving. We got lit last Thanksgiving.
Dude, here. I know.
It was here in
Shirley's I was looking at the videos and I literally cried a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like you can see, like even I could see how different, like through my own, like my eyes look different on camera. It's hard to explain. I don't know.
Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Do you have a high and an opportunity?
No, because like I said, we just had one of those weeks that it was just like we were running around. We have honestly the same. It's been the same. Not that I'm perfect. It's just we haven't had time to even think of opportunities.
That's the thing. It's been busy.
Mm-hmm.
For me, yeah, I think my high of the week is as I'm getting closer and closer to meeting my baby.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just seeing how fast time is going and knowing that I'm going to have him in my arms any day now.
I know. I can't wait.
That just warms my heart.
I was in the store today and I was looking at baby clothes and I was like pretending I was JJ. I was like, oh, I can't wait. It's just that little newborn, like snuggly butt phase that I love.
And my opportunity is that I'm terrified of labor. How am I terrified of labor? And I've done this 4 times and I've never been this scared before.
I think it's because it's your last and I think that every time you go to the doctors, they always tell you it's your last pregnancy, you're older, things are not going to be as you expect. And I think all of those are subconsciously. They're messing with me. Yeah. Because I think once again, we tell you all the time, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
I know I am, but
it's just, I think the outside worries of everybody else is what's starting to like seep into your like
my psyche. Yeah. Because I'm like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
So it's getting into my psyche. Like I know what's gonna happen. I've done this multiple times. I don't know, but it's really messing with me. And me scrolling through TikTok, looking at people's like videos of like their labor experiences. It's not helping. I need to stop.
Okay, don't do it.
I know. I was up all night looking at like videos, and I'm like, I have to do that all over again. I can't believe I'm in this position again. Yeah. It's not a fun time. Especially because I want to, and I have gone unmedicated. It's well,
I think it's also them telling you we might have to induce you, and that's not something that you're like.
I really don't like medical intervention.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not gonna happen. In Jesus' name, thanks.
Amen.
All right.
So we went through. Well, I went through. I can't speak for you.
I did.
I went through, and I started looking at our old episodes, so we can talk about them a little bit. And first of all, our first episode, cringe.
What was the title of our first episode?
Chancletazos, something like that. I don't remember. Your phone's locked. You check. It was episode 1, Chancletazos and Mom Guilt, or something like that.
Yes, it was.
Our
and Oldest Daughters.
Oh, okay. It was Chancletazos, Mom Guilt, and Oldest Daughters. First of all, that's the time that you broke your foot leaving my house. And we recorded the episode how many times? Like 100?
Like 3.
It was a mess.
It was like 3 a.m. by the time we were done. By the time that I was leaving. And let me just say that, we were drinking a lot. That was part of the problem also. Like, it was really late. We were taking shots. We were nervous that it was our first episode. It was a lot of emotion. You know what I'm saying? And when I was leaving with my child, obviously I sobered up. Like before we left, I had to stay there for a good hour.
We stayed there for a long
time.
After
we recorded, I stayed there for an hour because I was like, okay, I can't drive like this. So when I was leaving, though, we were so tired already that I missed a step.
And the last step.
And I fractured my foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a cast on for the first, after that, for the first 5-6 episodes.
Yeah.
Because I had it on for 8. I had it on for 8 weeks.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's crazy thinking about that. And looking back at those women in that camera, I don't recognize them.
That's exactly why I wanted to get into that. It's so crazy. Guys, we started this podcast as a way, we've said this multiple times. It was a way for us to get away of just not being moms and not being partners and not having all these responsibilities. This is a labor of love, not only for ourselves, but for each other. And that's the reason why this podcast came about, right? Now, we knew that we were going to be, we kind of knew that we were going to touch subjects that were very uncomfortable for us and for other people to hear. I'm going to be straight up. Like we wanted to do it, but we knew that at some point someone was gonna get offended, someone was gonna feel some type of way, and just the thought of that, I think, made it difficult to like do it sober. And our name was Tipsy and Truthful, so I think a combination of our name and the place that we were in our lives, we had to drink.
I know.
A lot.
For sure.
We had to drink a lot in order to even come to terms with a lot of the things that we were talking about.
Question.
Yeah.
If you can think back, what do you think was your most uncomfortable like episode to talk on?
I think every episode that I talk about my dad is uncomfortable for me.
I was about to say the same thing.
Because especially in the most recent episodes, I've talked about like the forgiveness and how much I truly do love my father. It's not that I have like all this trauma that I can't, it's just things that I lived through that I had to learn to navigate through and let go of and forgive not only myself, but my parents for doing the best that they could raising me. So I think always talking negatively about my dad was uncomfortable because I love my dad and I respect my dad and I want the best for my father. But talking negatively made me feel uncomfortable. So I feel like I had to drink even more.
Did I do the right number? I did. For me, it was... And it was the same thing. It was an episode where we talked about our parents.
The one that we cried.
What was it?
I think it was episode like 5, 7. No.
The one that we cried in like...
No, I know. But that one specifically because it was about our parents.
Episode 6. Getting comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. Mending relationship with our parents. That I think that's the first time. I think some of the stuff that I said on that episode, I hadn't said out loud to anyone before.
I think that's what it was too, yeah. It was like, usually these are things that I thought. So saying them out loud was very hard too.
And it was hard for, number one, for me to face them. And number two, for me to think that, like, this is out there. That my mom can go onto YouTube and listen to this episode.
Which she has.
And which she has, by the way. She listens to all of them. She calls me and gives me feedback.
Yeah.
It's hard to live in your truth and know that your truth might hurt
other people.
The person that, like your mom.
Yeah.
Your dad. You know? And also looking back, something else that I noticed? We thought we had it all figured out.
We've talked about this, how cringy it is to look at ourselves.
I look back and I'm like, girl, you were still a hot mess. Why are you talking about you were above the certain things?
Yeah, I know.
Get out of here.
And I think that's the reality though. I think that we were, to be 100% honest, looking back, I think that we were in a place that we were open to accepting that this is the place that we were. And we were ready to really work on them. Not that we weren't working on them, but we were not even close to the place that we, like, right now when I look back, I'm just like, dude, like you said, who are those women?
Well, it's about growth. Because 2024, November 2024, right?
There's going to be still even more growth.
We're going to look back now and be like, whoa. Hopefully, that's the goal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That you are continuing to grow and to do better. But I think that I thought I was like 90% there back then.
No, we were
and
like 45.
And I can see that I was like, okay, you was starting.
45.
Exactly.
We weren't even halfway.
Literally.
Because honestly, after that, and that's something that I talk about all the time, that I think having the podcast, at least for me, has helped me responsible and accountable on a different level. Because now I feel like, okay, people stop me. People know. I mean, this happened to us. We're kind of famous, guys. No, but for real, no, but in the sense that people stop me. So I'm like, okay, so people are listening and people are watching.
Yeah.
And it's so important for me to, and I've always said this, to walk the walk for me. I don't want to be sitting on this podcast and not living what I'm talking about. So yeah, I feel like having this platform, now I feel like I really need to constantly look in the mirror and make sure that I'm self-evaluating myself constantly.
I don't have that, I think, as much in the forefront.
I do. It's so important to me. It's so important to me to not be a hypocrite. It's so important to me to be like, to actually put in the work, not say that I'm working on something and not do it. It's important for me
100%
to always have that in the, especially if it's something that I'm working towards. It's like constantly like, Cynthia, you said that you were going to do this and like, you're not, so it keeps me accountable.
I get that.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I think I give myself a lot of grace.
I don't.
I'm just like, you're better today than you were a year ago. And that's good.
And my thing is this. I get where you're coming from, but for me, being content is not enough. Because for a long time, I've been complacent with my behavior. I've been complacent with the choices that I've made in my life, and I can't continue to do that.
Period.
So for me, it's important to constantly look at myself in the mirror.
I'm not there yet. I guess I'm just not there yet.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm just saying this is for me in the last year, especially when people were like, "Are you guys you're the girl from Tipsy and Truthful?" And I'm like,
that has happened to us, guys. It's crazy.
So I just never want to be in a place like, oh, look at her. She says she does this. Y estoy haciendo otra loquera.
Y dándole de que 2 galletas Cairo.
No.
Can you imagine?
I would die. No.
De que un de atrás para adelante. Isn't that the girl from Tipsy and the gentle parent from Tipsy and Truthful?
I am the gentle parent. I really am.
I'm not. Oh my God. Let me tell you what happened. I think I sent it to you guys on TikTok too. There was a TikTok and said my version of gentle parenting.
Oh yeah.
And it was a guy that got down to the child's level, right? It's like 50% there. And what did he say? I don't remember.
I get that you're upset and something, but and then he started cursing and saying something.
Oh yeah, but if you don't put on your Crocs right now, I'm gonna get so effing pissed, and then you're gonna get effing pissed, and then we're both gonna be effing pissed. So why don't you go ahead and put on your Crocs? And I sent this to my girls as a joke, and Leanna responded, "That's you," and I was like, "Is it me? Is it me right now?" I was like, and I wrote, "LOL, I'm working on it." Feel attacked.
That's funny.
I am working. I mean,
it's a constant work in progress. Work in progress.
If
always.
there's one person who's gonna call you out on your BS, it's my daughter Liana. Yeah. She has zero filter, and I love it. It's hard sometimes, but I love that about her.
Like snoring.
Yep, that's dog snoring.
That's adorable.
So I think I want to talk about all the guests that we've had.
Okay.
Do you remember
our first guest?
Oh my God, Kenny.
Kenny was our first guest.
He's on a podcast now.
Yeah. And we told him he should definitely be on a podcast. And
what is it called again? Enemigos del Silencio. Mm-hmm. Look them up.
With his cousins.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's funny. They're funny.
It is funny. They talk about a lot of funny things.
Yeah, they do.
Our podcast is more serious. So.
I know, but we started in the beginning with some funny ones, like growing up Hispanic.
Yeah, I just feel like those are for us. Listen, I am a comedian. I know I am, but I feel like getting online and talking about just being like jokes on jokes on jokes is really hard.
I think in the beginning we were trying to find our niche, our rhythm, our flow, and. Even though, yes, that episode was funny, and I really liked that episode growing up. A lot of people. The audio was so crap.
Well, we were still trying to figure out where Jessica was going through it with us.
We were going through it, trying to figure out all the audio and all the video and all the stuff. But I think that we just flow better when we just have conversations, you know?
Because that's
sometimes we laugh and sometimes there's funny things, but
I think most of the time in our conversations, even if we're crying, we say something funny and we start laughing. But most of the time, we are having very deep conversations.
For sure.
Very philosophical.
So another guest that we had was Polly. She was the one right after that. Mm-hmm. I love her. She's so funny. And she's like really blown up on social media.
She has. Good job, Polly. You probably won't see this.
Get it, girl. She'll see. I'll send it to her.
For real, she's doing great things.
She is. Who else did we have?
Then we had a lot of our friends.
We had Frisi.
Mm-hmm. That
episode was so powerful.
I think a lot of people related to that episode because I feel like, especially when you're in a moment of growth and letting go of a relationship that you've been in a very long time, I feel like her insight, and for her, it was like divorce. So it was even a step further. I think a lot of women related to that.
I think the biggest part was her finding her voice again. Because it's hard when you've been with somebody for 10 plus years.
You don't know who you are.
You guys become like one voice. You know, so detaching yourself from that and like becoming you and finding who you really want to be. Yeah. Kudos to you, girl. I love that episode.
A lot of people reached out to her. Yes. And one of the things that I appreciate was she didn't want to do that episode. No. She was very hesitant. We said, hey, we're not going to force you, but I think that this is an amazing opportunity for you to start finding that voice out loud. Because I think for a while she's been working on herself, obviously in private,
She's very private.
She is, and I'm like that too, so I get it. But at the same time, I feel like for her, it was very important to have that step of, you know, just voicing all those things that she was going through, or like the process of like okay, now I'm a single mom. Like, how do I pick up the pieces and keep moving forward with my head on high? How, like, not looking like, I'm distraught, because that is a really difficult situation to go through with children that are older. And I just feel like I'm glad that we encouraged her to come on the podcast and record it, because I feel like it was that closing of the book for her to be like, that's it. I'm not talking about it anymore. But I understand if you're ever going through this situation, that it's hard. It was a very positive episode, because it wasn't like she was bashing her ex. It was about her and her growth and her process of finding herself.
Yeah. She was very graceful.
Yeah. It was beautiful. A lot of people reached out to us about that episode. So.
What other guests? We had Elisa and Jose talking about co-parenting. Very important episode. Co-parenting is something that a lot of us have to go through. It's hard to talk about. It's uncomfortable to talk about because it affects so many people. You, your partner, your ex-partner, their partner, the children,
the world.
Like, it's a lot of pieces to it. So, thank you to Elisa and Jose who came on and were vulnerable. Right, talking about their situation. Who else? Scarlett and the IVF journey. Wow. Wow.
A lot of people reached out on that episode too.
Again, something that
I think it's because
probably hard to talk about.
I think it's because we don't have enough of those, like a lot of those conversations. So a lot of people are like in the dark. They don't feel like talking about it, because I feel like co-parenting, yes, it's hard, but more people talk about that. But surrogacy or, what's the word that I'm looking for?
I have no idea.
Becoming pregnant, but there's another word.
Conceiving.
Thanks. My brain. Beverly me ha pasado her pregnancy brain on me.
Everything's my fault. It
is. I get it from Beverly. But I feel like a lot.
Bird brain on nobody else.
Listen, this bird brain is partly because of Beverly right now. Anyways, I think that talking about conceiving is not something that's out there. A lot of people are kind of ashamed. It's something that feels like stigmatized, like she said.
She said it. Like, she felt like, what's wrong with us? Like, why can't we just do this naturally?
And a lot of people, I think, benefited from that episode. I mean, I know I did. There was a lot of things that I didn't even understand.
I did too.
Or know.
Yeah.
And I have even more, like, I've always been empathetic about that, but I feel like I even have more empathy, more understanding. And, I think it was an amazing episode.
It was.
One of my favorites too.
We also had Vani,
my other best friend.
For 2 episodes. Was it 30, 31 or 31 and 32?
Something like that.
For the all the Skin Deep Best Friends edition. Who else did we have?
That was a good episode too.
We had the episode with my sisters too. All of my sisters except Carolina. That was good. I think a lot needed to be said. It's weird that we didn't have those conversations until that day. Those cards, can I just say, not sponsored, but they should sponsor us. The Skin Deep and
we should send them this
We're
video
Not
as a
Really
promo.
Strange. Yeah, let's send it to them. Those cards really help bring out conversations that maybe naturally wouldn't occur.
But I think that's why it was such a powerful episode between Vani and with the sisters, because there's so many things that we just go on through life thinking, like just assuming all these things and not really going into deep detail. And I feel like when you talk about certain things that have been hidden for a long time and bring them to light, one, it's liberating, but two, it's like starting a fresh new page.
Yeah,
because I feel like after that, there's just nobody's carrying that load of feeling like we can't say a lot of these things. I feel heavy carrying all these things that I want to say to my sibling, and that we should be able to say because we're siblings.
Yeah, or sometimes it just doesn't come up in a conversation.
True.
Like, we're talking about like, what did you do today? I did X, Y, and Z, and
very surface level.
And it's like to go back and be like, remember that time when I was 11 and you did this? That really hurt. That doesn't come up regularly in a conversation usually. Like I at least not for me. Maybe I'm weird.
I think about what I did in the 5th grade. So for me.
Not I.
I think about math problems. I'm like,
I can't remember what I had for breakfast.
Couldn't figure that out. Now I know. It's stupid. I'm telling you, there's something wrong with my brain.
No, maybe. Hey, it's a gift.
Probably.
Because I literally.
A lot of people don't have good memory, and I have like ridiculous good memory.
Bird brain, excellent memory.
Isn't that crazy?
How things work.
Anyways.
What else? Did we have any other guests? I hope we're not forgetting any guests.
I don't think so. I think that
No?
was all. I think that was all of our guests.
Okay. Do you have a favorite episode?
Do you?
You have a favorite episode? What's your favorite episode?
The one that talks about like what's the order of your parents, your spouse, and your children.
Oh,
Okay.
or our viral
contra-
episode?
Which episode was that? I don't remember. Was it the mother-in-law one?
Yes.
My mother-in-law needs boundaries?
Yes.
We had an episode where it was very controversial. We had a lot of like pushback on like who should go first, you know, your spouse, your children, or your immediate
I think there's still
family.
people that feel that way.
Yeah.
It's
So like for
crazy.
example, for me, like who would go first? My mom, my partner, my kids, like, and we said the same thing. Like
and we're
biblically-
sticking to that. That's not changing.
It's biblical. Like once you have a partnership, that goes first God, and then this partnership, then your children, and then everyone else.
Mhm.
So
And a lot of people will not agree. And hey,
no.
to each their own, but that's the
Mhm.
way we see it.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy?
What?
When I think about that episode and a lot of the pushback that we got from even our friends, we had friends that like commented and were like, "No,
No,
my kids
my
go
kids
first."
come
And I'm
first.
like,
But,
and
like,
that's why your
angrily.
relationship. And I'm not.
I'm not sure who you had this conversation with, but you had a conversation with Penelope, maybe. That she was like, "Oh shoot, you are right."
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes,
Because we talked about her parents. Well, she commented.
She commented.
My cousin Penelope.
She did that. She doesn't have kids,
Mhm.
but that she thinks that once she has kids, they will come first. And I don't remember which one of us responded to her.
You did.
Oh, I did.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, but like, look at your own parents.
Mhm.
They put each other first, and look at how happy like that has made you. And she took a moment to reflect and,
And
be like,
she wrote back.
oh my God, you're right.
Mhm.
You're right.
They thought they were coming first because their parents' needs were already being met.
Exactly.
And so it was so seamless that they didn't even see that they were not first.
Exactly. That they were prioritizing each other, the parents.
Mhm.
And
Which
I'm
is
like,
amazing.
Go see, when parents do that and they do it that in that way, the
Yeah.
right way,
Yeah.
your kids will not feel like they're being put second.
And let me tell you, I will always give kudos to my cousins. They have amazing parents that have still stick by them. They have really good parents.
Goals.
Yeah, they're not only do they stick by them, but they stick by each other first. And they go on vacation. They've always prioritized vacation. They've always prioritized like date nights and like just things that they do just them too. And I think that that's the reason why their family is so united. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Because they're all adults now.
Mhm.
All the
They're all
kids.
adults. Everybody moved out.
Not only that, but they're like so non-judgmental.
I
So,
know.
like,
They're
Mhm.
really accepting.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like,
It's a whole combo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to them.
Do you have a favorite episode?
I don't know.
No.
I feel like there's certain things from each episode that I'm just like,
I like a lot. I think I have like a top 3.
what's your top 3? Let's see.
My the autism episode.
Okay, let me see the phone.
Here. The autism episode is one of my favorites. And I know I'm biased because I was talking the whole time.
Yeah.
But the feedback that I got with like some moms saying, wow, I feel the same exact way. And I think my main message in that whole thing, that was the title of the episode, was like, this isn't something negative that happened to us. God chose this and God chose us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love that episode so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get emotional. And even thinking about that episode, I want to cry again. And I also love the Father's Day episode because
I was gonna say that
because of all the kids' voices, and I love how simple their answers were. Like,
and not only that, I think it was just us asking them and them having a chance to answer when nobody really takes the time to.
I know, it was so cute, and I love how simple their answers were. Like when he tickles me, and Dad plays games with me, and Dad gives me piggyback rides, and it's like I think it makes us take a step back and be like, wow, we're here worrying about the latest Jordans and getting my daughter an essential sweatsuit. And it's like, wow, but what they're actually noticing and appreciating is those small moments. Did I do it the same way?
It's true. I would say one of my favorite episodes too was the one of loving yourself.
The self-love one?
The love language.
The love languages one, I mean.
I think it's because a lot of people said, hey, everybody was so excited to figure out their love languages and communicate that to their partners. We got a lot of messages back saying like, I took the test, or, I realized that this is what I really want. Some people had never even heard of the concept.
The love languages.
Yeah. And I was like, what rock you been living under? But,
yeah.
But for real, a lot of people didn't know. And I feel like for me, any episode that gives us a lot of feedback, people like being excited, are my favorite episodes. People having hard conversations with their parents, with their partners, with their children. We've had episodes when we were talking about our kids. We talk a lot about our kids. Yeah. But we've had a lot of parents saying, you know what? You made me take a hard look at the way that I'm parenting. And those episodes for me hit home. Because I'm like, we're doing what we wanted to do. Yeah. To just shed light. And the choice is yours. The ball is in your court of like choosing how you're going to parent, how you're going to be in a relationship, how you're going to live your life in general. Yeah. We're all just trying to figure that out. But
we're not saying, copy us, we're doing everything right.
No. But what I'm saying is sometimes we go through life being, once again, complacent, accepting that this is what it is. And this is the kind of parent my parents were. So this is the kind of parent I'm going to be. This is all I know. Instead of like.
I think it's the autopilot for me.
But that's what it is.
Of not even taking a moment to be like, wait, what type of parent am I?
Yeah. True.
Because I was living on autopilot for years.
We talk a lot about, we have a lot of episode about like coming to and living in the moment, truly living in the moment. What's something that I put into practice a lot now is not having my phone for a lot of moments. And I may not have memories like on my phone, but I'll have them in my heart and in my mind. Because now I'm just like soaking it in. There'll be times that people was like, te fuiste. And I'm just like, it's just because I'm really in the moment, like taking in like, oh my goodness, these kids are running around and their little laughs and like just all those things, because they're growing up so fast. I know. I could barely pick up Cairo now, and I still do because he's my baby. But I pick him up and I hold him and we just cuddle every morning for those 30-40 seconds before I put him in the shower, because he's growing up so fast and I don't want to get emotional. But like,
it goes by fast, babe.
Anyways. I'm trying not to cry because when I look at them every year, when I look at those pictures, I'm like, truly, we're almost 40, guys. Whoa. We are.
Faltan 5 whole years.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that when we were thinking of even 30 was like, oh, I'm almost 30, and now I'm like, we're almost 40. That's scary. We're like there. We're like not almost 30. We're almost 40 because we're already in our 30s. I'm getting yelled at in the behind the scenes because my mic, and I'm just excited about this episode. So if you hear me like a little moving on and off,
further, can you still hear me? Okay.
So yeah, I really am putting down the phone to enjoy those memories truly.
Another episode that I liked was the Mother's Day episode.
That was.
Well, that's the door.
Why is it doing that?
Because the wind.
Sorry.
You and your ADHD. Sometimes I want to punch her in the face, guys. I love this woman with my life, okay? Except she's like this squirrel. Like,
what was
a tiny creek.
I'm sorry. It just throws me off.
It's hilarious.
Your Mother's Day
episode.
Why? Why did you like it?
I think we don't appreciate moms the way that we should. I think, oh, you're a good mom. Happy Mother's Day. You're a good mom. Here's your present. But I think like really sitting down and thinking like, what makes you
a good mom?
What am I learning from you as a mom?
What do I appreciate?
What do I appreciate from you, even if you're not my mom? Mm-hmm. Because again, it takes
motherhood in general. Yeah.
Like friends, like seeing you as a mom, seeing my aunts, seeing, friends that are close by. What am I taking? What pieces of you as a mother am I taking to try to apply to my own motherhood and my children.
In your experience. It's true. I think we're very it's a very blanket term to be like, Happy Mother's Day. So it's like, here you go. But really sitting down and I think honoring them too in life, I think was important. So I do love that episode because we took the time to be like, this is why I appreciate you as a mom. And we sent those clips out to our moms and stuff so they can hear it. That was special. I like that episode.
That was special.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to the list if we want to talk about any other episode before we give our 2 announcements?
Well, what other episode was a big one?
I love all of our Am I the Jerks too.
Me too. They're funny.
And the Dear Cynthia's.
Yeah. Some of them are funny. But the ones about you are your own biggest obstacle,
There was two of them, right?
Yeah, part 1 and part 2.
Those were good.
I think that was good because I think even for us, we were on camera, like being like, man,
Like
we were having self-realizations on camera, like, live. I like those episodes.
That was it from the book. The Mountain Is You. Look it up, guys. It's a good
Still
book.
a good book. You finished it.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, but you finished it.
Yeah, I did.
I feel like a lot of people was like, what's the name of the book again? Any episode. That creaking, I can't do it.
Shirley, close that door before Cynthia loses her mind.
That's not bothering anybody else?
No.
Oh my God.
No, you're hyper focusing on that tiny sound.
I can't, babe. I can't. It interferes
We'll
my
close the
brain.
door.
I need noise canceling.
You do. I'm gonna get you that for Christmas.
I can't.
Those little.
Noise canceling light.
True.
No, they have like little tiny headphones, guys. If you have
They're
never
not
heard
headphones.
of this,
They're like
okay.
plugs.
They look like little tiny donuts, little tiny plastic donuts, and you pop them into your ear, and all they do is that they filter the sound so that you still hear everything, but in a lower. Like it's like somebody lowers the volume on the world around you. I'm gonna get you those for Christmas for real. Yeah.
I need them.
My friend Joanne, I went into daycare once to drop off Jonas back when he was in her classroom, and I saw they were like purple sticking out her ear. I'm like, what's that? She's like, girl, sometimes I get so overstimulated, and I'm like, I get it, girl.
Yeah, I feel like that all the time.
Yeah.
But I also found out that I have like a condition. I self-diagnosed. Mesophobia or something.
Miss WebMD.
Well, it's because somebody was explaining. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And it's all these like noises that really like trigger you, like put you in a bad mood, and that's me. Anyways,
I mean that sounds accurate. Dale a la thing just in case. Yeah. To all of our babes who have been listening to us for an entire year,
wow.
Thank you.
I'm so appreciative.
I know.
Appreciative to our fans and women that have always shared our stuff, always commenting, always engaging, always like calling us. Joanne.
I'm looking for the English word apoyan.
Support.
Thank you for all of our babes who have supported us. Pregnancy brain, leave me alone.
You see,
I have an excuse for 3 more weeks.
Okay,
I'm 37 weeks pregnant.
Actually, and after, because it takes a while for your body to come back.
Period. I got a few months that I can juice this excuse, okay, and I'm juicing it. Anybody who's showing us any type of support, may that be a like, may that be a comment, may that be a share,
a text,
listening, texting. I like this episode. Anything. Thank you. You didn't have to, and you did. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative. Like this, a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people don't make it in the podcast world because it's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of commitment. It's a lot of like planning, especially when there's 3 busy women, trying to come together to do an episode. Jessica sometimes can't be with us, and we need her.
Like today, she's not here.
Yeah, because she has 1,000 meetings at work, so she couldn't come. But it's not easy, and the fact that we've made it a year, I'm very proud of us. Like it's not. I'm not just blanketing. Like we're not gonna just bypass. Like, oh, it was just a year. No, like this is huge. If you look up the statistics of podcasts that don't make it, especially small one, there's been a few of our favorite podcasts that now are gone.
Big podcasts.
They're huge.
I know, shocking.
And that is hurtful because I'm just like, man, I really enjoy listening to you guys. And you guys are gone because the commitment is a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm proud.
Me too.
Good job, babe.
Good job, babe. I want to say thank you to Cynthia. And thank you to Jessica. Again, if you go back and listen to our first few episodes,
I know.
Hot mess. You couldn't even hear me most of the time. Like my mic was completely off. It was just a mess. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
It was the tech that was just so difficult to figure out.
Yeah.
We didn't have the right equipment. We had to buy things, return things, try things out.
Yeah.
Cables.
A lot of trial and error.
Yeah, and it was just a lot.
Yeah.
So like recording one episode took us even 4 or 5 hours. Now we get it down to like an hour and a half, and we're like in and out. But still, it's a lot of work. So, and planning behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're doing less planning now. I feel like we just kind of sit down and like
have
like a general topic and then just go from there.
I think it's because we're comfortable. We found like this is what it is, guys.
Yeah. So
we don't want to be too like scripted.
Exactly. So announcement number 1, okay, is that we decided that we're gonna have seasons.
Yeah.
we're going to do 50 episodes each season.
So a year.
So roughly a year. And this is now episode 48. So we're going to have 2 more episodes. Our 50th episode is going to be the same as always. We do a game. It's going to be a special one. Make sure you tune into that one. And from there,
Are we going to do that on camera?
We could. We can talk about it.
Okay.
Because I'm about to give birth, hopefully, we can squeeze these 2 episodes in before the baby comes. I decided that I need a break, like an actual break.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a break and we'll come back maybe at the end of January.
We'll see. We'll play by ear.
We'll play it by ear when we can come back to recording. I don't know if we'll be on camera. I'm going to say right now, probably not, at least at first. I'll probably have to record with the baby on me, but we'll come back for season 2, episode 1 at the end of January.
Hopefully.
So that's announcement number 1. Do you want to go with announcement number 2, ma'am?
Sure. So we're
doing it.
All right. And the second announcement is that there is going to be a name change.
Yep.
No more Tipsy and Truthful. Do you want me to say the name?
Yeah.
Okay. Our new name is Keeping It Truthful.
Yes.
And it sounds probably like generic and corny, but it fits us now. I think that when we were coming up with Tipsy and Truthful, or like the podcast name, that's the place in our life that we were in.
We were like, let's have a glass of wine and take a couple of shots and then we'll talk.
Exactly. We're not there anymore.
We're not there anymore. Jinx.
We're really not there. We don't need the alcohol. We have changed our lifestyle completely, guys. And you probably noticed. Yeah. Because even we noticed it. And that's going back to me talking about like me seeing the change.
Do you remember the first few episodes?
Well, me seeing the change. Like there's times that I look at myself and I'm like, who is this person? Because even for me, that was me. And I still can't believe that's the way that I expressed myself. Just so many things. And I think that we've expressed a lot of times that we have been on a spiritual journey. So we've rededicated our lives back to Christ.
Yes.
On camera, we're saying that like fully, a while ago. And I think that has obviously, influenced.
It's reflected.
It has influenced a lot of like the choices that we've made, the way that we just communicate with the world and express ourselves. And there's a lot of things that just don't go with us anymore.
Yeah.
And there might be people that understand, and there may be people that don't get it. And that's okay. We might still have a glass of wine. But it's not going to be solely.
But our podcast is not based around us drinking in order to talk anymore.
Exactly. It's not.
As I punched my mic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that just changing it to Keeping It Truthful is more fitting to who we are now. So we hope you guys like it. We might like give a little sneak peek because we have like a new album art. We have new everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, season 2, episode 1 will be for Keeping It Truthful versus Tipsy and Truthful.
And we will release like, I don't know. We're still working the logistics of it, so we'll fit. I don't think anything is gonna change. It's just gonna be a name change. So I think you're still gonna be able to find us on the same place, the same way that you guys are listening to us. Nothing's gonna change. Like our YouTube, if you're already subscribed, it's still gonna be the same. It's just that the name is gonna be different. Yeah. Same with Spotify and Apple, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Or wherever you listen to us, because it's like it's a process. But anyways, yes, those are our announcements, and so
I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
I was a little nervous. Honestly.
I was a little nervous because I think that we started a podcast with a certain demographic.
Yes.
And
we've lost people.
We definitely have lost people. And
but we've gained others.
Exactly. I was going to say, but it's okay. I want to respect others, but I also want to be respected in that area. Because we've always said God is very important to us, but like truly in this place in our life, we are making that choice and being public about like our stance in life, and like just the way that we want to live our lives, the way that we are raising our children, just everything. And so that's going to be, it has to be a reflection in our work too.
Yeah.
In everything that we do. So.
Yeah. I'm out of breath and I'm just sitting here. Why am I out of breath?
I don't get it.
I don't
weird.
either. Being pregnant is annoying sometimes.
Since it's our
1 year birthday. Yeah. First birthday. We're going to call it our first birthday.
Our first birthday.
So because it's our first birthday, we're calling it our first birthday versus our anniversary. We got a little cupcake. We want to sing Well, are we gonna say happy birthday? I don't want to say
No.
happy birthday, but we do want to blow out the candle.
And
Are
make a
these
wish.
candles too?
Those are sparklers, but now I'm scared.
Again, not a good idea. Take it out.
Jessica got that.
Woo! Jessica got that out!
That was hot. Because why do they put metal?
So we just want to say happy first birthday to Tipsy and Truthful, and also R.I.P. to the name.
I know.
After this next,
We're gonna have a new
couple
jingle. We're gonna
episodes,
have to work on a jingle.
We have to.
That's
do
my
something.
biggest thing because the not getting tipsy with us,
And keeping it truthful.
it's still funny.
We have to.
We gotta upgrade.
Hey, we can use that still. Who says we can't?
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess
Anyways.
we'll see. So yeah, happy birthday to our podcast.
You want to get it closer because how
Do you
am I
wanna-
gonna blow? We both blow.
We do. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Yay!
Thank you, babes, for joining us on this very special episode. Tipsy and Truthful, aka Keeping it Truthful. Turns one.
Coming soon.
Turns one. Oh my
Yes.
God, I can't even talk. Well, anyways, see you in next episode, I guess, right?
Mhm.
See you on the next episode, on episode 48, 49.
That sounds bad.
Honestly,
You're like this. See you on the next episode, or like this.
all right.
See you on the next episode.
Jessica, I'm sorry. See you on the
Keep
next.
this. Don't cut this out.
Don't.
Keep
no.
this, please.
See you on the next episode, guys. So on that note, thank
Yeah.
you for not getting tipsy with us.
But still keeping it truthful.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Check us out on Instagram at Tipsy and Truthful Podcast.
And TikTok at Tipsy and Truthful. See you next week.
Love you, babes.